perplexed by what we just saw. I didn't that match was over in a flash. Penny and Varsha, an amazing team, amazing chemistry. And we have another fantastic semi-final coming up here. Our Golden Girls from Australia, Sarah Burr and Beck Kingsley, taking on the pair from Taiwan, I believe.
I think they're from Taiwan, yeah, and they're quite a team. But we're gonna find out if they can handle the firepower of the Aussie team, Beck and Sarah. They're waiting 1 minute here for the names to be called, for the names to be put into the scoreboard.
So the team we have is Yang Hin Seng and Zhou Yu Ko.
I'm going to let you say that.
Oh, a great block volley here to start the match.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not sure which one she is in the black and green and white, but she has got a nasty overhead and very aggressive attack.
And the team from Taiwan, please correct us in the chat if they're not from Taiwan, but I'm pretty sure they are. I'm pretty certain.
I think they are. I don't know. We'll find out for sure, but I believe that's correct.
So they're number 3 and 4 in the Open Women's Singles yesterday. So very credentialed, very established players. This should be a fantastic match here, and the Australians have the ball back. That's a good start out. Only kept them in 1 there.
Pretty aggressive dink.
Sarah Burr not hesitating there at all to move forward onto that. I think she thought Beck was initially going to move,
but
Beck didn't. So Sarah's like, okay,
she closed it. Yeah, she closed it out nicely. She's really, really aggressive offensively, which puts a lot of pressure on the other team. And the one thing about Beck is she has a really powerful forehand and backhand drive. If it's on, it's deadly. If it's off a little bit, she's going to need to figure out a way to switch it up a little and maybe hit some drops.
And the power from that end, I believe it is Yang Sin Seng, is incredible. She's a lefty. She has got huge power. She takes a big cut at the ball.
There was no getting that ball back. I'm liking the movement from this team over here, but unfortunately they could never get the ball back down into the kitchen. That's the great neutralizer in pickleball, is that light blue kitchen area. If you can get it down into there, you can reset anything.
Great placement there.
She's fired up. She's not quite as exaggerative as Kim Ivor, but she's got it going pretty early
she's got
here.
some Kim vibes, though, doesn't she?
She does bring the Kim vibes. There's another attack into the net. They're firing off on those drives, and maybe they should potentially look at blocking those instead of attacking.
And in a first to 15 game, Scott, it only takes 15 of them and a little bit of luck.
Yeah, not much she could do on that one. Of course, Beck is one of the quicker players in the bracket. She's quick on her feet, but that ball bouncing back towards the net, unfortunately.
Okay, they've got the ball back here, 1-4-on-1. I'm expecting the girls to put a few points on the board here, apply a bit of scoreboard pressure.
So unlike the match before where Penny Lee and Varsha just took off and never looked back, I expect, yeah, that was a blast. I expect the team from Australia to bounce back and to push back a little bit more with some resistance.
Okay, a free point there. Interesting she's continental sliced every single one of these returns.
Definitely interesting. That
Serve
serve a
goes
little
on.
deep.
But
Now, let's see how they handle the spin serve. They haven't seen it much yet in this game.
Yeah, and I don't think Jo Yuko has actually played Sarah before. Handled it quite nicely.
Yeah, she looks a lot more confident with her strokes.
Great get there by Beck. Oh.
You know what? That was just a good shot, honestly.
Sarah and Beck looking a little bit rattled at the moment, but they're such seasoned contenders, you know, like so much experience. They'll just hang tight here. They'll weather this storm. I think it is just a storm.
Well, they're definitely used to being in these bigger matches. However, there is sometimes a target on your back when you're the team that won the last international tournament in the Women's Open. So these teams are going to be gunning for them, and they need to be really sharp in every one of these matches to ensure that they get back to the finals.
And if you're the team from Taiwan, do you keep taking risks like that?
I think so. I think you got to go for broke.
You're going to play to win it.
You're playing the defending champs from the Asia Pickleball Open. I think you do.
Okay, and these are the points that Sarah and Beck want. The Taiwanese girls have definitely handled the pace well early on. Maybe it's the dink rally that Sarah and Beck really want to engage.
Yeah.
Because we talk about Sarah and Beck's ability to overpower opponents, but if need be, they do have plan B, which is patience.
Yeah, they can definitely dink. And, you know, I like what Beck Kingsley was doing there. She was resetting, getting the ball up and over, and then she chose to speed up that last ball. She maybe should have been patient one more to get herself in there. Great defense right there. Sarah running a little bit she ran out of room essentially. I believe she gets that easily if there wasn't that netting there, because she would have had 3 or 4 more feet, but great hustle either way.
So we're at 5-4-1 here in this 1st to 15 semi-final.
Not a great idea. Not a great idea at all. I mean, look, I guess every once in a while I'll throw a lob up, but Sarah
Burr has got hops. She can get off the ground.
She can jump. She's athletic. I mean, both of these players on Team Australia are going to be super athletic. Not a great idea.
Beck just letting that one drop a little bit low. She had the ability to take that a little bit higher, and she chose to let it drop.
Yeah, she likes to attack these balls, and she's doing a good job for the most part, but sometimes they're not actually attackable once you get them below the net.
Great return there. Good depth, and into the backhand as well.
4-6.
Nice balanced matchup here too. A lefty and a righty on both teams. Yes. A good play there, set up by Sarah Burr, moving across in front of Beck to take that dink, just making probably Beck feel a little bit more comfortable as well.
Yeah.
Beck just needs to settle in here, and I think she will. We're all tied up here, 6-6 on 2, I believe. Okay. A few softer points here, Scott. A few softer points from the Aussie girls, engaging that dink exchange. right, 6-7 on 1. And they love that play. Beck pulling her opponent wide with that backhand dink. Her opponent sitting up just a little bit too high, and Sarah pouncing on that forehand volley down middle. All right, they're coming alive.
Yeah, they're really starting to pick it up, and we knew they would. They are not going to just go away. I mean, you're going to have to fight, scratch, and claw to win every single point against them, especially once they catch fire like this. They're going to be dangerous. Beck's got to lay off that third just a little. She's a bit aggressive, and they're not going in right now, so she needs to switch things up just a bit. A good break there for Beck as she left that ball up just a tad.
So I believe we're changing ends. We're at 8-6.
8-6. So remember, this is a game to 15, so they switch at 8, but next round is going to be 2 out of 3 for the women's finals. So that's the reward for winning the last round before the finals. Excellent play from both sides. Obviously, Sarah Burr and Beck Kingsley started a little slow, but have since then picked things up quite a bit and have taken the lead. Coming into the second half, what does the other team in Young Sin Seng and Zhao Yu Ko need to do?
Look, they have to grab this match by the horns. I think they know they're the underdogs. They're playing the Asia Pickleball Championship champions, and you're in a first to 15 game.
I will say, even though you weren't at the Asia Pickleball Open, you might have watched it, but at that last tournament, they blew through every team, including in the finals. They're getting a lot more resistance here in the semifinals of this match. They can feel it.
Great reset there to stay in that point. That was a good attack by the Taiwanese girls. And you do not want to sit that ball up down the middle to Sarah Burr's forehand.
Agreed.
They're going to want to get that ball low. Good backup there. Oh.
Wow, she had the chance to recover off of that and couldn't put it away. Dumps it in the net.
Oh, Sarah nearly resetting that ball from behind her.
From my perspective, because I've got the table and everything here, I thought she got it in for a second. I couldn't tell, but you saw it just wide.
Definitely just a little bit wide there. Oh.
Beck with a second missed serve. One in the first half of this game, now creeping in on the second half.
So Beck does have an aggressive serve, and she does get a lot of free points off it. She's only missing by a few inches, but it is the risk that you take.
Do you think if you've missed 2 in a semifinals, do you tone it down or do you continue to push with that aggressive serve?
I think for Beck, she's more comfortable when she is hitting hard. I think if she tries to slow things down, it's not her style of game. I think she can slow it down with maybe a backhand slice, but on her serve and her forehand especially, she needs to stay aggressive. Sarah probably should have let that ball fly.
Sarah definitely saved it, and it did bite them in the end. But in her defense, her forehand is sitting right there in the middle. Had she been a right-handed player, and that was her backhand, she likely wouldn't have even got a paddle on that.
A great aggressive serve there by Joy.
Yeah, just inside the line.
Oh,
there's another one, but
gets away with it.
Well, you know, that ball should go out probably, but because this is a Franklin ball and we're playing inside with no wind, that ball dips in.
Okay. Another missed serve here by the Aussies.
Crazy. There's a drop. We're starting to see a different strategy unfold.
Yep.
Why lob? I mean, look, it's not me out there playing, but you've got two really athletic tennis players from their former background in racket sports. You should not give them an overhead. I'm telling you, it's a bad idea.
And not down the middle. Maybe lob down the line over their backhand side shoulder, perhaps.
Possibly, which is a harder shot, by the way.
But down the middle, I don't think that's going to get them many free points. But we thought that in the advanced men's doubles final with the Indians, because their overheads were crazy. In the end, the lobs worked.
It's not a good idea to lift that ball up. I mean,
I don't think you're going to win many of those hands battles against Sarah.
Especially when you're lifting it up high, so now she gets to hit down on the trajectory. If you're going to hit that exchange with her, you've got to at least go 50-50, belly button to belly button. I do like the forehand roll through the middle. However, Beck's forehand sitting there waiting on it.
Beck was waiting.
She's got a bit more power off of that forehand. Crazy, this game is 8-7 right now.
Ooh.
Okay, so the counter to the shake and bake is that shot right there.
Getting it
down
low,
at the
down.
feet. Yes.
Or in behind.
Correct. Yeah, that would be the other adjustment, is going behind her, but
yeah, that return was
the immense
not
power
where you want it to go. It went straight up, sitting mid-court. Becky's going to eat that for breakfast. They need to get depth on their returns to try and keep Beck and Sarah back, these girls. Okay, in these dink battles, Sarah and Beck have generally been on top of this. But a great little exchange here. Oh, in behind Beck.
yeah, that's a great point. She painted the line right there, got her moving. I mean, put her in a really compromising position, to be honest. A little returned friendly fire right there, right into the body of Beck Kingsley.
Taiwanese team showing they can also drive that ball hard.
They've got to execute if they want a chance to get back in this game and take the lead.
This is a tight moment. Yeah, they're the balls, Scott, that you need to be making. 8-10 on 2.
I mean, I don't know about you, but it wouldn't take me more than maybe twice to figure out I'm losing those exchanges. I probably shouldn't just attack cross court to the forehand of Sarah Burr. I mean, it's you just don't want to go into that trap. Now, that's a better attack. Why is that a better attack?
So she got it into Sarah's backhand first and foremost, and it was actually quite a difficult shot because it was actually very short in the court and close to the net. I don't think she meant to hit it there originally, but she's moving in onto her forehand volley, and if it sits up a little higher, she can attack that.
Yeah, and she hit straight across on the attack that time instead of cross court.
They've kept Sarah and Beck scoreless here on that side out, so we're at 8-10-1. This is a very interesting moment in this match.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those crucial points in the match. It could start to tilt either way. That's the third one that I've seen now on the missed third shot. You've got to get those third shots up and over, even if they're a little high.
Okay, now Joy Yuko has done some incredible dinking. I didn't know what to expect from her. Well, I haven't seen her play doubles, but she has some pace and some spin on her dinks. She's not just putting these dinks back in play. She is looking to be aggressive with these dinks.
Yeah, I noticed that on the first time on the other side in the beginning of the game. Wow. Wow. Sorry, we changed gears on that one. That was a really nice shot from Sarah Burr.
All right, serving at 10-9-1. Can the Aussies put a few more points on the board, create a bit more distance, but not if they put the ball up that high on the third.
Yeah, I mean, Beck's got to get that ball lower. It's going to get hammered. And there's another missed serve. As she was likely still thinking about the last shot that she missed, she needs to refocus every single rally.
And I think, Scott, going to what you said, I think she actually tried to take a bit of pace off that serve and put a bit more topspin on it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we discussed earlier. It's like, do you take a little pace off and try to be conservative? What you said actually, I think, was the exact thing that you just saw play out is she took a little off and it ended up biting her.
Beck just needs to stick to her guns here. She has got a great repertoire of shots, whether it's the power game, whether it's the precision game, soft game, whatever it might be. She just needs to back herself in these moments. But this is a big moment, Scott. This is the semi-finals of the World Pickleball Championships here in Bali, and they're all playing, you know, to make this grand final and to win this title.
If Zhou Yuko and Young Sin Sang decide to come out and go right back to Beck, who's had a couple errors here down the stretch, how can Sarah Burr try to get involved and implement herself into the stretch of this game?
I think Sarah can definitely immerse herself in this game a little bit more. I think she can hold middle. She's had a great deal of success. And I think if they actually go in behind Sarah, she's got a much better chance of resetting the point with her backhand dink. Okay, that'll help Beck relax. She'll be happy with that one.
That was great. And, you know, coming out of that timeout, I said 7 out of 10 times you win the point. I don't know if that's actual factual information, but I do know that typically the team that calls the timeout wins that next point.
If you've got the stats on that, can you please send them through?
I sure will.
Okay, so I feel Sarah probably could have let that ball go again. Now, I think it's Young Sin Sang has a big cut at that swinging volley. It's got a lot of power behind it. She has leveled, or the Taiwanese team has leveled this game up at 10-10-2. Good side out there.
Yeah,
Another missed third though, Scott?
She's missed so many of those thirds trying to be so perfect with it. You don't have to be perfect on your thirds, guys.
Beck and Sarah have won most of these exchanges when all 4 players have been up.
A little net play there. Oh, great defensive hands and a reset. Getting back on point.
Oh, my
The attack
goodness.
was there, but she let it drop too far. She hesitated.
She hesitated.
You can't hesitate. You've got to pull the trigger early on that ball.
Ooh. So if you notice then, Sarah trying the spin serve, it didn't come out of her hand properly. So she knew she only had 10 seconds, so she decided to spin a serve or push a serve into the court.
She's got Beck on ice skates at the moment.
Beck loves a backhand dink rally, but so does Zhou Yuko. By the looks of things, Sarah looking to fake. Oh my goodness,
so good
what
from
a
Sarah
play.
Burr.
Did you see that strategy there?
That's how she can implement herself into that game. Sitting, like you said, hugging middle with that forehand.
But you see how she created that? She actually moved off the court to an Ernie position and almost surprising Zhou Yuko with, what are you doing?
Oh, she saved an out ball. It worked out, but
got away with it, but that's very
boy, if she doesn't win that point off of that, that's going to be frustrating.
All right, 12-10 on 2. The Aussies have put a little bit of scoreboard, a little bit of gap and distance on the scoreboard here.
Yeah, so far the Aussies able to stay ahead of the curve. But she's put Beck on skates a couple times with that nice backhand slice
Right
cut
now,
shot.
I wouldn't be engaging the dink battle with Zhou Yuko. I would be going to Young Sin Sang.
Agreed. Young Sin Sang has been the one making a few more errors on the dinking, yet they find themselves in another dink rally. Beck pulling a Kim Ivor, rolling that forehand inside line off the balance, but it did not go in her favor that time.
And we've got a strong Taiwanese support crew over here too, really egging their team on.
It's a nice transition reset there coming in. Love the attack, but Sarah's a wall. The attacks are there in a way, but she's so flat with where she's attacking. She's got to catch that and roll it.
Yep.
You can't just attack every ball you see.
She stands up very tall as well. I'd like to see her use her legs a little bit more when she is.
Yeah, if she gets down just a bit, she would probably help her own cause there. And there's another example. She stood upright and then tried to roll that ball below the net. You cannot attack these balls when they're below the net like that. This is getting really interesting at 12-12.
This is going to be a nail biter.
This is where, yeah, that was out.
Yeah,
that was
definitely
out.
wide.
Yeah, that was out. Yeah.
All right. They've got the serve. We're all level at 12-12-1.
They're handling the spin serve much better than some of the teams did this morning. Oh, boy.
Oh, my goodness. That was a filthy roll.
It really was. And, you know, Sarah, kudos to her. She still got a paddle on it and almost got it to roll over the net, but really good position on the...
Great serve there by Beck. Can she back it up with a drive?
That's the shake and bake. Beck able to cover. My goodness. That's a nice roll. Oh, my God. What are we looking at right now?
Oh, what a terrible way to end that point, but what a great point by all four players. My
what did we
goodness.
just witness?
There was some seriously incredible gets by both teams.
I thought they won that point at least 3 or 4 times. That could be a dagger. Nice reset there.
Beck hasn't come out on top of many of these rallies. I'd like to see a dink line here.
She's holding her own very well, though, but those sharp dinks are not doing any favors. This is such a good match. And a rare miss from Sarah Burr. She's usually tight with those dinks.
They were back up at the MBZ and almost up at the MBZ and back to neutral here.
She really trusts her shots a lot, and that one came up just a bit short. But 12-13.
A third shot drop there by Young Sin, which hasn't made many, but that was a good one.
Oh, that's such a good shot behind Beck Kingsley, as all she could do is clap the paddle and say, good shot.
That was... No one knew where that ball was going except Young Sing Sang.
This is interesting now because it's 13-all.
And a third drop. 1 out of 5?
Yeah, that's plagued her a lot this game. And that could be
the difference right
the
here,
difference
right now.
in them winning or losing if she doesn't get that third shot under control.
Okay, Sarah and Beck not on their natural sides right here.
Yeah, interesting. Oh, great D. My goodness.
And a great point by Sarah and Beck to come out on top of that. They've got the ball back.
Oh, man, this is such a good game.
13-1.
Such a good game here, guys. See, I would have attacked that. I would have attacked that out of the air.
Lightning does not strike twice. She tried to thread that one up the line on Sarah. No such luck.
No, and the mistake was she backed off the line to let it bounce. She should have leaned into it and attacked it out of the air.
Okay, we are at match points.
Yep, 14-13, and there it is.
They're through.
Beck, that
was tough.
Yeah, that was an extremely close match. You know, the resistance from Zhou Yuko and Young Sin Sheng was immense. But in the end, the missed thirds, the missed opportunities to put the ball away, bit them in the end. Sarah Burr, Beck Kingsley moving on to the finals. Scott Golden and Brendan Lee going to wrap up. But before we come back to the next finals, we're going to take an interview with Sarah and Beck.
Let's go. Well done, girls. Good game. Really good. good, Scott? Scott, we good? Scott? Scott? Are we good? Scott, are we good?